Hi babies, and welcome back to Monday's video. And what are we gonna be talking about today? Well, if you saw my Instagram story, I gave you a little hint, and it is bananas. So what what could possibly be about a banana or an eggplant? Obviously, we're gonna be talking about something to do with penises. And today we are going to talk about the 5 most common mistakes while you're giving head. And we're going to give you those tips and tricks to correct it so that you don't make those mistakes going in for your next BJ game, okay? But first, before we get started, if you are new here, welcome. I am Miranda, aka Pleasurebhabiee. And every single Monday, I bring to you a taboo topic of the week to help you step into your pleasure. However, you will not get notified unless you are subscribed, and you definitely don't want to be missing out on these tips because it is for all genders. Not one person is gonna be excluded on my channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. That way you can catch me at 8 p.m. Central Time every single Monday. Now, let's dive into what you came here for. So to kick things off, we are going to start with number 1. You do not need to deep throat like a pro. You do not need to munch it down all the way down your throat and shove everything into your mouth. That is not always necessary unless that is something that your partner has desired. And even then, it's still not necessary because guess what? You can say, no, I don't feel comfortable with doing that. No, you know, my gag reflex is really intense and I don't think that's gonna work for me. However, if you just hop on in trying to munch the whole thing down, it is not gonna be a vibe because you can tell when somebody is not enthusiastic and who doesn't wanna be there. And also, if you're choking constantly, that's not hot. Well, it can be. But if it's the gross kind of choking, no. We are not gonna have death happen in this blowjob game. So this trick is going to be helping you not obliterate your gag reflex. So the first trick is you are gonna use your mouth and your hand and your tongue, which, I mean, if you watched any of my other videos, you should know you should be doing that like all the time anyway. But we're just gonna assume that you all are new here, which hopefully is not the case. Hopefully I have return viewers. So your hand, your mouth, and your tongue, and you are gonna be focusing on the head of the penis. Your hand will be placed on the shaft just so that you can adjust to the right pressure. When I talk about pressure, I think about what you feel the inside of your vagina feels like. So it's not like super tight where it's like giving the death grip, but it's a firm tightness and you are gradually increasing. Not to death grip. We don't need death grip. Another thing you can do is you can squirt some lube onto your hands. It does not dry anywhere near as fast as spit does. This way you can use one or both hands stacked to make an extension of your mouth. So that way, if they want to thrust intensely and go all the way back, you actually are still in control because your hands will be blocking it and the head of the penis will be in your mouth. And that way you can do like tongue tricks and a little bit more with your mouth. But the hands act as like a barrier, a protector, so that you don't gag and die everywhere or vomit or cry. However, your gag reflex works for you. Number 2 is choking on it and not in a good way. Remember what I just said? We are not trying to die when we are giving brain here, okay? We are trying to be alive and we are trying not to throw up all over the place or constantly be gagging and being in pain. So the little trick to deep throating, we will say, and not choking is gonna be using your tongue. You're gonna flip your tongue up to the back of your throat and the penis is going to come in on an angle where it hits the roof of your mouth and the underneath of your tongue. So when your tongue looks like this, and you're gonna block the back of your throat. That way it gives it almost like a deep throat feeling without actually going down your throat and making you choke. Number 3, when are they gonna come? How do I know when to stop? Are they about to come? And I don't know how long to go for. So verbal warnings are a very, very good indication that this feels really good. Don't stop. that means I'm going to be coming soon, or babe, I'm coming. Those are very, very blunt statements that you really can't get any miscommunication. So if you don't necessarily know when to stop, then make sure you communicate that with your partner and give them something sexy to say so that you know in your head, okay, they are good. However, if they do say, I'm coming or I'm getting close, don't stop what you are doing. They like consistency. The penis loves consistency. It needs a rhythm to go with. So the correct answer here and the trick here is to don't stop until you get the cum. Then you want to lay off the stimulation unless told otherwise, because when the penis ejaculates, it tends to be very, very sensitive. But you know your partner better than I do, and if you don't know the answer to that question, then ask, or they will tell you. Could you believe that? A little bit of communication, perfect. Number 4, speaking of rhythm, penises like rhythm. We need a consistent rhythm in order to reach climax. So if you're out here like all over the place trying to like fondle and flop around and you can't get a consistent rhythm, a really great tip and a trick is to actually put on like your favorite hookup playlist or some really vibey music that you can bob your head up and down to and kind of stroke round and round to. Stroke round and round. That sounds pretty good. I mean, like, you just need something to follow. It's just like dancing. You want to keep the momentum going and you want to really feel it in your body. Honestly, when you want to do it, you are going to be amazing. You are going to be enthused. And that is exactly why you should only do it when you want to do it. Okay? And last tip and last blowjob mistake is going to be a number 5. What the heck do I do with that foreskin? So penises that are circumcised usually like direct stimulation or can handle a little bit more direct stimulation on the head. Now, because this penis is uncircumcised, so there is a foreskin, it actually resembles almost like a clit in the clitoral hood. So if it's constantly being covered, it generally tends to be a lot more sensitive. So that really deep direct stimulation can be very unsexy and super irritating and making it not pleasurable at all. So we want to use the foreskin to our advantage here. So instead of directly going over top the head and pulling back the foreskin and stroking just the head, what you are going to be doing is you're actually going to use the foreskin around the head and use it to glide up and down or do little circles. Now, if you are going to be putting it fully into your mouth, you can use your tongue around because it is a more smoother, softer feeling. Obviously, you don't go right for the head right out of the gates because, like I said, very similar to the clitoris, direct stimulation, pressing the red button right away, it never really feels good. You want to build that anticipation. You need to start with the shaft and work your way up to the head. Now, for the shaft, you're going to use your hand at the base of the shaft, guiding the foreskin up to the head and over top and then back down. Now there's a little piece of skin called the frenulum, very similar to what is underneath your tongue. And that is something you don't want to put a lot of pressure on and you don't want to tug because it is very sensitive and it is what attaches the foreskin to the head of the penis to give it its little tiny hood. That's what I like to call it. So yeah, like I said, the foreskin can definitely be used to gain momentum and can also be better for establishing rhythm. That being said, if you are a master head giver or brain giver, you will be able to figure out how to do it with foreskin and without foreskin. That's just kind of like the easiest tip I can give to you is work with the foreskin. Don't worry so much about pulling it back the whole time unless that's what your partner indicates that they like. Because like I had stated, it tends to be a lot more sensitive. All right, baby. So that was your top 5 BJ mistakes and how to correct them. So if you like this video and you would like to see another one like that, or you have any other video recommendations, please drop them in the comments section down below because you know I look at them and I saw people wanted the BJ tips and how to do it with not a gag reflex. So I might do a video solely on gag reflex. But anyways, and now that we've reached the end of the video, I'm gonna ask you one more time, please babies, subscribe so you do not miss a video, and it helps support me as well. But that all being said, I hope this BJ tips and tricks definitely helps you amplify your pleasure in the bedroom or giving pleasure to your partner. Now, I will see you next Monday, babies, and don't be late because I